Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our new episode of our segment Talents. And today, in the talent segments, we introduce young people and meet them. First of all, we would like you to introduce yourself to our dear friends.
My name is Latifa Jasmine Hamdan Salim, and I'm a 5th grade student, and I'm 10 years old, and I study in Sumaya School.
What talents do you have?
I act, I make stories, and I read and paint.
How did you discover your talents?
First of all, I act alone. Then one day the teacher came and taught me that, can you act for our shows? So I accepted the offer, and I started to act.
When did you start acting?
I started acting when I was 8 years old.
What was the first act you did, and how old were you?
I was 8 years old, and I act a mime.
So, could you explain for us what's a mime?
A mime, it's something white in your face, and there's triangles, so you act like you bumped like in a window, and you start doing like this, that there's a window, it's existing in front of my face.
Which character or play is your favorite and why?
My favorite character is Harry Potter, and I love it because it's interesting and it's a nice story.
If you would choose a character or a role, what would it be and why?
Hermione, because she's a calm girl and she's so kind, and she loves what I love too.
Oh, are you doing magic? Let's see then.
Think you know everything there is to know about the one and only Hermione Granger? Even the biggest Potterheads will be surprised by these little-known facts. J.K. Rowling has revealed some fascinating secrets about our number one girl, and they prove that Hermione is one of the most misunderstood characters in Harry Potter. We're deep diving into things about Hermione that everyone gets wrong.
Well, you can tell Ronald...
I'm not an owl!
Emma Watson's casting meant fans assumed Hermione was white, and there was a lot of chatter when Noma Doomswenny was cast in the role for the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child stage play in London. She told the Observer newspaper, "Hermione can be a black woman with my absolute blessing and enthusiasm." It's a heartbreaking moment when Hermione uses the Obliviate spell on her parents, but in a Bloomsbury web chat in 2007, a fan asked J.K. Rowling if Hermione was able to find her parents and undo the memory damage. The author answered yes, she brought them home straight away. Rowling also explained that Hermione hadn't wiped her parents' memories. Instead, she bewitched them to make them believe that they are different people.
Obliviate.
Hermione and Harry have an important thing in common. They're both an only child. But in a World Book Day chat in 2004, J.K. Rowling revealed that she'd always planned that Hermione would have a younger sister. However, the author never got around to giving the little sister an appearance, and by that point, it felt like it was too late to add her into the later books. In that World Book Day chat in 2004, the author also revealed that Hermione's middle name was Jane. But by the time it was actually mentioned in the final book, when Dumbledore's will is read out, Rowling changed it to Jean. There are a couple of possible reasons for this. Dolores Umbridge had been given the middle name Jane in Book 5, and Rowling gave birth to a daughter Mackenzie in 2005 and gave her the middle name Jean.
To Hermione Jean Granger, I leave my copy of the Tales of Beedle the Bard.
It's not just Hermione's middle name that Rowling changed her mind about. The author revealed in an article on her website that in the dim and distant past, Hermione's surname was Puckle. So why did Rowling change it? Because it didn't suit her at all. So the author switched it for something a little bit less frivolous. It's easy to assume that know-it-all Hermione is very self-confident in her abilities, but that's not actually the case deep down. J.K. Rowling revealed on her website that she knows Hermione was seen by other people as a right little know-it-all. However, she hopes it's clear that underneath Hermione's swottiness, there is a lot of insecurity and a great fear of failure. Her Boggart proves that, McGonagall telling her she's failed.
Behaving like a babbling, bumbling band of baboons.
Hermione was top of most of her classes, but that wasn't her major motivation for studying so hard. On J.K. Rowling's official website, it was revealed that part of the reason Hermione worked so hard was that she was terrified of getting things wrong and letting people down. It's a natural assumption that being intelligent was the most important thing to Hermione, but then why wasn't she sorted into Ravenclaw? After all, in the Order of the Phoenix, Hermione says the Sorting Hat did seriously consider Ravenclaw for her. But as Hermione tells Harry in the first book, brains aren't everything. It's loyalty and bravery, both Gryffindor traits, that count.
Friendship and bravery.
On the topic of Hermione's house, if you thought the Sorting Hat was in charge of Hermione becoming a Gryffindor, think again. The film shows a quick, straightforward sorting, but Rowling revealed on Pottermore that Hermione was almost a hat stall, a student whose sorting takes longer than 5 minutes. Because Hermione showed a strong preference for Gryffindor on the Hogwarts Express, saying, "It sounds by far the best," it's likely that's what influenced the hat.
Mostly he watches me study.
We like to think of Hermione as knowing everything and being level-headed, but she can be duped by charm. After all, let's not forget how she was fooled by Gilderoy Lockhart. She fawned over him in class, not realizing that he was a con man. J.K. Rowling insisted that they kept the troll scene in the first book when her editor suggested she cut it. Why so? Because as the author says, Hermione, bless her, is so very annoying in the early part of the Philosopher's Stone that I really felt it needed something literally huge to bring her together with Harry and Ron. That was Emma Watson's favorite scene in the movie because she got to perform her own stunts.
I went looking for the troll. I read about them and thought I could handle it.
Of course, Potterheads know that Hermione's wand is made of vinewood with a dragon heartstring core. But did you know that reveals her true character? J.K. Rowling used a Celtic tree calendar for the symbolism behind each wood, and vine symbolizes passionate emotions. All characters' names are important, of course, but J.K. Rowling put a lot of extra thought into Hermione's. The author explained in a 1999 radio interview that she consciously set out to choose a fairly unusual name for Hermione. That was just in case somewhere out there was a Jane with big front teeth who was really swotty and annoying. The name actually comes from Shakespeare's A Winter Tale. Although she isn't like that character, Rowling thought it seemed the sort of name that a pair of professional dentists who like to prove how clever they were would choose.
And what exactly did I say, may I ask?
My name.
In the early days, Rowling used to get asked how to pronounce Hermione's name more than anything, to the point that the author even said she wished she'd called her Jane. Rowling revealed that she used to hear Hermione a lot, but her favorite was Hermione. Most fans will know J.K. Rowling based Hermione on herself, but did you know that the character isn't actually an exact replica? In a radio interview in 1999, the author described Hermione as a caricature of what she was like when she was 11. She went so far as to call Hermione a borderline genius, and a real exaggeration, because she wasn't that clever. Rowling also hoped she wasn't as annoying as the incredible know-it-all.
Stop. You're going to take someone's eye out.
While Hermione was good at a lot of subjects, she wasn't good at everything, despite many fans thinking she's top of the class in all subjects. Take flying, for example. In their first flying lesson with Madam Hooch, Hermione struggled to get her broomstick to raise to her hand. Professor McGonagall gave Hermione a time turner in Prisoner of Azkaban so she could take more classes. But, of course, Hermione and Harry used it for far more important tasks, saving Buckbeak and Sirius. Did you assume Hermione kept the magical object? J.K. Rowling revealed on Pottermore in 2015 that she'd made a problem for herself by including time travel. So she solved the problem by getting Hermione to give back the Time Turner, and then the author smashed all remaining Time Turners during the battle in the Department of Mysteries. When a fan asked J.K. Rowling what animal she would turn into if she were an animagus, she replied that she gave Hermione her ideal animagus as her Patronus because it's her favorite animal. And that's the otter we see Hermione conjure in the Room of Requirement in the Order of the Phoenix.
At least no one on the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in. They got in on pure talent.
How are you improving your talents?
First, I got to a show and I practiced and I got better and better. So there was the show coming. So my teacher, Zainab Septi, told me that can you make a show? So I accepted the offer.
How do you make time between your studies and your talents?
First, I study 1 hour and the acting 1 hour, but the writing, stories, and something like that, and painting 2 hours.
Time for everything. This is Ankit, and he has a problem. He feels that he has no time to have fun. Everyone is always rushing him, and his days just go by in a whoosh. Take today, for instance. Mom woke him up just when he was seeing the magical unicorn jump over the beautiful rainbow. I just wanted 5 more minutes to see what is there on the other side of the rainbow, said Ankit. Mom said that this was the 3rd time he was asking for 5 more minutes. He had to go and get dressed right now. Mom packed his tiffin box and set out his breakfast. Oh, where was this little boy? She wondered. Just then, she could hear loud singing coming from the bathroom. Ankit, what are you doing? Asked Mom. I'm performing my new song for my lovely audience, he cried out. Ankit, you come on out this instant, ordered his mom. He let out a sigh and opened the door. An omelette with toast and orange juice had been set out for his breakfast. Got to make this interesting, he thought, and pulled out a set of cookie cutters. He cut out some shapes, and while he was admiring them, the school van was heard honking outside. Oh no, he muttered. No time to eat now. And just when he was about to leave, he remembered that his bag was still in his room. Oh boy, he got some really dirty looks when he got on the van. We better not get late punishment because of you, cried out a pesky girl. Ankit just made a face at her and went right back to sit with his friends. They were sharing their latest cricket cards that they had collected. He had left his at home in all that hurry. When he entered his class that day, he was surprised to see jars on everyone's table. Rocks and small stones had also been kept with the jar and sand. Their teacher welcomed them and explained that now that they knew how to read time, the next important part was to understand how best to use their time. She told them to remove the jar's lid and place as many rocks as they could. These rocks stand for all the important stuff that are a must to do, like your homework, exercise, spending family time, etc. Now she asked them to add as many small stones as they could. They all settled into the space between the rocks. The stones are the things that are needed as extra skills, but not as important as the rocks, like tennis class, music lessons, etc. Lastly, they added sand, which she said stood for chill out things, for them like playing video games, watching TV, anything that they loved doing just to relax. Next she gave them another jar and asked them to put in the sand first, then the stones, and lastly the rocks. But this time, all the rocks would not fit. She told them that if their day was filled with the lesser important things, there would be no time for the things that are really, really important. When Ankit came back home, Mom had a surprise gift for him. It was a watch. His very own watch. Make it your best friend, Ankit, and you will never feel rushed ever again. Ankit told Mom about the jar lesson. He told her that he understood the importance of the rocks. But he would like to reduce some of the stones so that he could increase the sand, as this was really, really important for him to relax every day. Mom agreed and cut down some of his classes. Now he could have more time to sing to his make-believe audience, draw, dream, or whatever he wanted. He was sure that now he would never feel rushed, and he had a new best friend in his watch. The end.
Who supported you and helped you with your talent?
My mom, my dad, and my teachers.
What did you learn or gain from your talents?
I got confidence when I go to the show, and I learned a lot of things, and that made me so happy.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that you write stories. How many books did you do?
I made 3 books, but they're so long.
Are they Arabic or English?
2 Arabic and 1 English.
What are the names of the stories?
Dagman and Ibtisim and Saddiq.
So you want to write a great short story, but you're not sure how to begin? This is a simple but effective method for planning a well-developed story. The 8-point story arc is made up of 8 key elements: stasis, the trigger, the quest, the surprise, the critical choice, the climax, the reversal, and the resolution. Now let's talk about each one of these elements in more detail. The first point is stasis. The word stasis simply means equilibrium or balance, and can be thought of as the protagonist's everyday life in which the story is set. This is the exposition of the story, where the characters and setting are introduced. Picture Cinderella sweeping the ashes for her wicked stepmother, or poor Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk living in poverty with his mom and a cow, or Harry Potter living with the Dursley family. The second point in a story's arc is the trigger. Eventually, something happens in the story which is outside of the control of the main character, or protagonist. This is referred to as the trigger, because this leads to the evolution of the story. The trigger is the beginning of the rising action. Here are a few examples of triggers. In Cinderella, her fairy godmother appears. In Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack encounters a man with magic beans. And in Harry Potter, Harry receives a letter of acceptance to Hogwarts. The next part in the story's arc is the quest. This is typically referred to as the rising action, and is a direct result of the story's trigger. If the trigger is positive in nature, it may lead the protagonist on a quest to maintain this new, improved existence. But if the trigger is negative or problematic, it leads to the protagonist's quest to return life to its normal existence. Stories also tend to include surprises, the fourth point in a story's arc. Surprises are unexpected events that occur during the protagonist's quest. These can be positive events, but more commonly, they are challenges or obstacles that prevent the protagonist from completing his or her quest. One type of surprise may be the introduction of a new character, who either helps the protagonist or stands in their way. Surprises must be used purposefully, but still be unexpected for the reader. The next point in the story's arc is critical choice. In every good story, the protagonist is put in a position where they must make a critical choice. The decision they make is key to the story and reveals the protagonist's true character to the reader. Perhaps the character must choose between an easier, albeit bad, course of action, or they may choose a harder, more righteous path. The sixth point in the story's arc is the climax. The decision made by the character when faced with the critical choice leads to the climax. This is the point in the story with the highest level of tension for the reader. For example, Cinderella and her evil stepsisters trying on the glass slippers for the prince. Next we have the reversal. The reversal is the outcome of the critical choice and the climax, and it typically results in major changes for the characters. It's important that a story's reversal is logical and based on the events leading up to it. The final point in a story's arc is its resolution. This is where the protagonist reaches a new stasis. Typically, with dynamic characters, the characters will have evolved, learning important life lessons through their experiences.
Which one of these is closer to your heart?
Ibtisam, the story of Ibtisam.
Why is Ibtisam your favorite one?
Because it's talking about you don't need to be always sad. You need to be happy, but you need to be sad for a reason.
Who or what inspired you to write these stories?
The story of Ibtisam I got from my friends because they always laugh, they always make jokes, they always smile, and they help others. And the story of Dogman, I got it from the story, so I made a difference, and I love the story. And the story of Saddiq, it's about believe in yourself and never give up.
Nice. So I want to ask you a question. How your hand doesn't hurt you while writing? Because when I write a lot, my hand begins to hurt me.
I got used to it.
Nice.
Number 1. Choose a pen that is comfortable. It could be a water bearer pen or a padded grip pen. Make sure the pen writes smoothly without skipping. Avoid buying pens that leave blotches of ink. Number 2. Grasp the pen loosely. Don't clench your fingers around the pen. You don't need to strangle it, just pull it against the page. And one more thing, don't press the pen heavily against the page. For this, buy a good pen and pull it lightly over the paper. Number 3. Write with your arm, not with your fingers. Move your whole arm using elbow and shoulder like you're writing on a whiteboard. Evaluate, is your hand position neutral? Try to hold your wrist straight and don't turn or bend it as you write. Also, support your elbow and wrist. Number 4. Sit straight while writing. If you lean over your work, your neck, shoulders and arm will tire that much faster. Vary your posture for long writing sessions. Number 5. Take breaks. Leave yourself extra time for writing unless it's your final test. Relax for a minute or two. It will feel better. You'll feel better. Next, number 6 is during your test when less time is left, you're having pain in your hands. Hold the pen from the back and leave more space down. This will increase your speed and gives a better result. The last, number 7, the most important thing is exercise with your hands. This will relieve your pain. Grab the pen or pencil, twist it between your fingers, open and close your hands, and other exercises, guys.
What are your plans for the future?
I want to be a material designer when I grow up, and if I didn't be a material designer, I want to be a screenwriter.
Is there an advice you would like to share with our viewers?
I will share with you that you always need to believe in yourself. Don't be scared, because if you didn't believe in yourself, you're always hiding something. You could do it, because when you grow up, you can't do anything.
Hold my breath, hush my head, count my steps. I need this more than ever. Might feel strange, but I'm not afraid. Every day I try but can't forget it. Hey, I need a new way. Let's just give and take, make mistakes, keep on hoping for the day I'll fly high. As long as my heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. My heart is open, I
Thank you so much, Latifa, for the interview, and it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you liked our segment for today and see you in another Talents. Bye.
Bye.